Alright, so I have Jazzy here. Jazzy's a 9-month-old yellow lab, and she came here the night before last, and basically Jazzy is adrenalized pretty much all the time. Everything makes her overly excited, and it's extremely hard for her to calm down. So basically all we've worked on is introducing her to the prong collar, some pressure and release, and being respectful coming out of her crate and going in and out of the door and starting waiting for food. And also we did a little bit on the walk, having her walk next to me. So she has a basic understanding of the collar, so now I'm going to go ahead and teach her the place command. And with a dog like Jazzy, who is overly excited, we need to teach her how to be calm, and the place command is a great tool to do that. We want her to be able to be with the family, but we don't want her jumping on people, knocking the kids over, and just causing chaos, where she ends up being locked up in her kennel because she can't behave outside of it. So we want her to learn to go on her place and just kind of hang out calmly and not get overly excited about whatever's going on. So I'm going to start off just by teaching her that. Let's go. So what I'm going to do is just walk up to it and then stop before I get to it, and then I'm going to apply leash pressure forward towards the place, and then I'll say place. And then as soon as she gets onto it, I'm going to release all the pressure on the leash. Jazzy, place. So I'm just, good. When she jumped to the side there, I kept applying pressure towards the place, and then as soon as she jumped up onto it, I released the pressure. Good. So I'm going to tell her okay, to let her know she can get off, and then I'm going to lead her off of it. Okay. Good girl. So then I'll do the same thing from this side. Place. Good. Very good. So when she gets onto it, I also say good just to mark that that's a correct behavior, along with releasing all of the leash pressure. I don't want to praise her too much or even touch her because she'll get way too excited and then we won't be able to accomplish anything. So if she tries to get off, I'm just going to apply pressure back towards the place until she stops trying to get off. Good. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to stop in front of it. I don't want her jumping on. I want her to kind of wait for my guidance to tell her. So if I just walk up and she leaps on it without me kind of pausing in front of it, she's not looking to me. She's just making her own decisions. Place. Good. Good girl. I'm just going to walk around it a little bit, and then if she tries to get off, I'm going to use my hand to apply the leash pressure towards the place. Good girl. No. And I'm also going to say no when she tries to get off, so she starts to understand that no means she's not doing something correctly. Good. Okay. I'm going to bring her up to it again. This time she left on it without me telling her to, so I took her back off right away. I'll have her kind of sit and wait for a second. I want her to be able to be in a calm enough state of mind where she can actually process what I'm asking her to do, not just having her mind going a million miles an hour and not really comprehending what's going on. So by pausing her in front of it, it's giving her a little bit of time to think. Place. Good. Good. And when I start off, I want to make it as easy for her as possible. I'm kind of keeping close to the place. If I were to put her on here and go 10 feet away, she's going to jump right off. So when you're first starting, you want to set the dog up for success, and because you're teaching them. She doesn't understand what place means yet, so it's our job to give her that understanding. Okay. Good. So I'm going to go from this angle. I'm going to just have her sit. I'm not telling her to sit, I'm just using leash pressure straight up, and then I release it when her butt goes down. So I want to pause before I actually tell her to go onto it again. Place. Good. dog is beginning to understand it, you can challenge them a little more. Move a foot away, move 2 feet away. You can just, have your hand ready on the leash to be able to apply the pressure back towards the place as you say no. So she understands that the pressure goes on when she's getting off unless you tell her okay and lead her off of it. No. So there she did get off of it, so I just said no, applied the pressure, kept a constant pressure until she got back on, and then I released all of it. So pressure on means you're not doing what I want you to do, and then all the pressure goes away once you complete the task. Good. I find it helps when you're teaching the dog the place command to have an elevated place like this. If you just have a towel on the floor or something, it's harder for the dog to comprehend and be aware of when they're stepping off of it. I find with an elevated place like this, it's more of a conscious effort for them to be stepping off of it. It's a very clear boundary. Nope. Good. Okay. Good. Place. Good. Very good. No. No. Good. No. No. Constant pressure until she gets back on and then release it all. No. Good. No. So even if I can see that she's thinking about getting off place, I'm going to apply a little pressure to help her understand. No, place. Understand that she's not supposed to get off until I tell her she can. No. Good. Good. Place. Good. Okay. Good. Place. Good. Good girl. Okay. And with her, when I'm giving her the release of okay, I'm not saying it too excitedly because I don't want to ramp her up. Everything, I don't talk to her much and I try and stay pretty low key so I don't get her too worked up. Place. Good. Good girl. No. Good. And I really like to see, so she's sitting down, she's more committed to being on it than when she's standing up ready to jump off. It'd be really great if she got on and just laid down. We're not at that point yet, but it's really good that she's sitting. It means she's more committed to actually staying on there. Good. Nope. Good. Nope. So I'm using a little leash pressure and also spatial pressure with my body, because when I see she's starting to step off, I'll use the leash pressure back towards the place, but I also step in towards her. Good. Okay. Place. Good. Good. Nope. So I'm going to try going the opposite direction. So far I've only gone around counterclockwise, so now I'm going to go the opposite way to challenge her. No. Okay. As you can see, I don't have any pressure on this leash and collar unless she's trying to get off, or if I'm helping apply to show her to get onto it. You don't want to be constantly putting pressure on the collar and have it become meaningless. So consider the leash a communication tool. You're communicating your wants to the dog, so don't be applying pressure when you don't really mean to tell the dog something. Good. Good. No. No. Good. So I find this exercise is really good for teaching the dog because it's very black and white. You're on it or you're off it. So right or wrong, it's easy for them to comprehend something that's not that complex to start off with. And then once they know the place command, it's really useful to get them to stay in one spot without running around the house and causing a bunch of havoc. No. So a lot of times she thinks that she's supposed to walk off with me when I start to move away, so then you always have to be prepared in case the dog does make a mistake, so you can correct them back to what they were supposed to be doing. And you shouldn't be getting mad about it. She doesn't know what she's doing yet, so you always want to be fair to the dog. Okay. Place. Good. Very good. No. Good. Okay. Place. So I'm going to start making it a little bit more challenging for her. When I walk up to it, I'm going to keep walking a little bit, but then be ready to apply pressure backwards on her towards a place if she tries to continue following with me. I want her to understand that this means place. So when I say place and she gets on it, it means she has to stay there. Okay. Good girl. I'm still going to pause before I ever go on it. Place. Good. Very good. No. And it's okay if she makes a mistake, you don't catch it fast enough. She got all the way off, so I just said no and put her back on there. Good. So there I went back to repeat where she had made a mistake the last time, and she made the correct decision this time. Okay. Okay. Place. Good. Very good. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do for this lesson. She's starting to understand it. So I'm going to put her away in her kennel for probably an hour or so before I get her back out again. A lot of times when you start teaching new things to the dog and you put them up in their kennel, they do more processing. So then once you get them back out again, you'll be amazed at how much it seems that they retained and how well they do when you get them out again. And since she's brand new to this, I don't want to overwhelm her too much.